Australia will become the first country to ban the sale of vapes outside of pharmacies, but access won't be restricted to prescription only, which had been the proposal. Political reporter Jake Evans joins us now. Yes, Jake, I think this story has moved while we've been on air with Afternoon Briefing today. We know as a matter of record that all of this was to form up into a debate in the Senate. Crucially, this week, what's developed?
G'day, Greg. Yes, Greens and the government have been in late-stage negotiations over this proposed ban of the sale of vapes outside of pharmacies, as you say. The original plan was that only adults who had a prescription would be able to purchase a regulated vape through a pharmacy. But we've heard that the government's agreed to water down its bill slightly in order to win the Greens on board to get this bill passed in time for the planned July 1 start date of this ban. So they only had really Wednesday, Thursday to get this bill passed. They have won the support of the Greens with an agreement to allow the sale of vapes without a prescription, still only for adults. And for those under 18, they'll be allowed to purchase vapes if they have a prescription, but it will still be restricted to pharmacies, and it'll still be regulated vapes, so plain packaging and flavourless, some of these other restrictions that we knew the government was introducing.
Okay, so just for those who aren't familiar with it, and possibly for my own clarity, what concession has been made by the government exactly?
Yeah, so we knew that the government was cracking down on vapes. We saw at the start of the year some restrictions around the import of vapes, a ban of single-use disposable e-cigarettes, but they also wanted to further ban the import, production and sale of vapes. So they could only be sold in pharmacies, and you would need to go and get a prescription from a GP in order to buy a vape. Well, they've ditched that last part, so now if you're over 18, you should be able to buy one effectively over the counter. You know, you'll have to have a discussion with your pharmacist, and they'll talk through some of the warnings around them, but you won't need to go and get a prescription anymore.
Oh, I see. But it is only at a pharmacy. I can't go, if I wanted to, I can't go into a tobacconist. That has not been conceded.
That's exactly right, and it's a quick turnaround. July 1 is the planned start date of this ban, and this is probably going to pass Wednesday or Thursday just by the Parliament's calendar. So we're looking at just a couple of days, this becoming law and effectively shutting these sales down. There's a couple of other amendments that have been, or deals that have been agreed to, additional funding to help those under 18 quit vaping, some rules around advertising to health professionals, a few other smaller parts. But the big change is this rule around having to obtain a prescription in order to buy a vape.
Oh, I get it. So that's a real breakthrough. And of course, the government plus Greens doesn't quite get you there in the Senate, but based on everything you've been able to glean, Jake, there's not much doubt about the numbers being there.
That's right. Effectively, the holdout was the Greens here. You know, we understand that this is effectively going to pass now that the Greens have been won on board.